Mr. Will Worsham joins us now for this week's Speaking Legal discussion, where he answers a viewer's legal question on air. Welcome once again. Will, good to see you again.
Thanks, you too.
All right, we'll take a look at this week's question. We purchased some property in December 2013 with a propane tank on it. The neighbor behind us came over and asked if we could move the tank as the overhang crossed the property line by about 6 inches. But the base of the tank is on our property side. He said he wants to continue a one-sided fence on his property line. I believe the tank has been there about 3 years, and the previous owner was the one who installed it there in its current position. If it was an issue, why did he wait so long to say something? The gas company wants $200 plus parts to move it and won't move it until it is empty. There are 2 survey markers. One previous owners must have had done, and the other is like 2 inches into our lot, which the guy said his father had done. So, where do we stand on the issue? I'm getting frustrated with this silly issue, so...
Well, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
So, here's what we got. We got neighbors. Mm-hmm. Neighbors got to get along.
Yeah,
because here's what you can do. It sounds to me like if it's encroaching on his neighbor's property and it's only been there for 3 years, then probably his neighbor probably has a legal right to have him move that gas tank.
Uh-huh.
But here's the thing. You got to enforce that right, which means you got to go to court. You got to hire a lawyer. This is a 200 and change odd project.
Right.
Is
it worth it?
No, it's not worth lawyering up on something like this. It's crazy. So neighbors, you got to get along. So either person here can take the position, and so our friend that wrote in can say, hey, I'll move the tank, it's no big deal, I'll be happy to do that. Get it done, it's some money out of pocket. Granted, it's frustrating, that's one way. The neighbor can say, it's 6 inches, what do I care? Build the fence where, and it's just not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Certainly not a big enough deal to get lawyers and courts and judges involved in, because you're going to spend way more than that. I mean, it's going to cost you $100 just to go talk to a lawyer about your case. So there's almost no way you can get it to a legal situation here. You guys got to be adults and talk about it and figure out, what are we going to do here?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's some common ground that can be reached.
Well, somebody's got to agree on something.
Yes.
It's like they're talking about 2 surveyor's marks. All right, I would imagine you could also say, I'll tell you what, let's have a totally neutral surveyor done, and each of us will live by what it says.
Well, I was going to suggest that. It sounds like neither one of them are really in a position to want to rely on those survey marks. I mean, his dad put the survey markers in. I don't know, maybe dad's a surveyor. I don't know. But it's still, you could have an actual survey done. You could go buy it. Is it the property owner who owns the propane tank's responsibility to move the tank if it's encroaching? Probably so. That begs another question. Who put it in, and did they do so negligently? Could you go back on whoever installed the tank and say, no, you need to move the tank? Yeah, maybe so, but once again, we're fighting over $250 probably at best. And how do you, I guess that's what small claims court is for, but it seems like we can be adults and solve this problem.
Well, you think, yeah. But that's in the best of all possible worlds, yeah. But they're also saying it's been there for several years. We just bought the place, and now this guy is coming over. Could this have been an ongoing problem before with the past
sort of a little
owner?
hint that you read between the lines, you can sort of figure that, because honestly, the guy that writes in the question could easily take the position, I'm not moving the tank. What are you going to do about it? Seriously, what is he going to do about it? Is he going to hire the lawyer? Is he going to go to court? Is he going to spend the money? That's a tough case to make, to justify spending that much money over, I don't know how deep this is, but we're talking 6 inches of ground over a fence line.
Yeah.
What type of property value devaluation does that cause? I don't know. Probably not enough to hire a lawyer over and go to court. So that may be what was happening in the past before this person took over the property, is the current property owner, existing property owner, said, I'm not moving it. What are you going to do about it?
I see attorneys and judges doing this kind of thing over that. Oh,
yeah.
That was summed up perfectly when he said silly. It is very silly.
Yeah, and obviously the person who writes in understands the magnitude or lack thereof of this case. It sort of begs a question based on adverse possession. We can't get into that today. but it wouldn't.
Okay.
It ultimately would not apply to the situation anyway.
All right. Will, thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
If you have a legal question for Will, you can email him at wworsham@color10.com. He'll answer your question on the show, and we'll be back after this break with the Academy of Hair Design and their special guest, a style expert. We'll talk about hair extensions. Don't go away.